Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Overlanding, and today we are going to be looking over the entire dual battery system on the vehicle. We're going to show you what's in the vehicle already and what we are busy connecting up today. We are also going to be upgrading the fridge, so we're going to be going from the 50-litre legacy fridge that I had on the Jimny. We're going up to the 90-litre, so it's going to give us almost double the capacity. Obviously we've got a bigger vehicle, the drawer system can accommodate a 90-litre fridge, so we're going to the maximum we can, just going to help us on those long trips.
Welcome to another episode of Roam Overlanding. My name is Adrian Abrahams, and last week we looked at two options for upgrading the brakes on the Hilux from PowerBrake. Now I head back to National Luna to complete the DC-to-DC dual battery installation and put in a brand new 90-litre fridge.
Now, dual battery wise, the vehicle actually already has a National Luna solenoid kit in it. Bushlaw must have put it in. A lot of rental companies use the solenoid kits for their reliability. They are pretty much bulletproof and they just work really well. So they had a secondary battery installed underneath the hood here, and then they just had a cable running straight to the back to connect that up to a fridge. It's not the ideal setup. You don't really want to be relying on a battery that's under the bonnet because the heat really affects the batteries badly. So I'm using this battery as a spare cranking battery slash a battery for accessories up front. So it also means that if having an auto vehicle, you can't push start the vehicle or something like that if your battery runs dead for some reason. So I at least have a fail safe that I can jump start myself using the solenoid. The solenoid can link the two batteries together. It'll give you a little bit of charge on your cranking battery and you will be able to kind of start your vehicle. You'll also be able to, if you are under strain while winching and your main battery is struggling a little bit, you can link the two batteries together and you'll have a little bit more juice for very tricky winching scenarios. But then for what we're running to the back, for the leisure setup, we're going to be running the green box in the back. You guys have seen it already in the Bush Tech video and in the Jimny. So all we're going to be doing is we're going to be connecting the cables from the front here all the way to the back. There's no drilling required, there's nothing. Luckily on the Hilux, you can actually run it underneath the chassis, in through the tail light and into the tub, no holes needed. So that's very, very cool. So we've got Tino and Eddie, they're gonna be here from G4 Outdoor Accessories, and they're gonna be helping us with the electrical installation today. Let's head around back and we can talk a little bit more about what's happening there. So essentially what we're running at the back here is National Luna's green box. Now the green box has their 25 amp DC to DC charger built into it. So that's got solar inputs, it's got USB outputs, we've got charging, we've got battery monitoring, we've got a whole assortment of in and out ports there. So that's really great. So we've got the fridge plugged in there, we can plug in a solar panel, we can plug in USBs, we've got other camping lights for the canopy are connected up to there. So there's a lot of functionality out of the green box. And what's great about it is, think about it. We were using it in the Jimny. Now I can just be taken out and put in the Hilux. And it actually fits beautifully in the Hilux, especially in the Bush Tech drawer system. It's almost like it's made to fit in here, which is very, very, very nice. And everything is hidden out of the way. All the cables are out of the way. There's nothing dangling out around the tailgate. One of my pet peeves with the Jimny was just having cables everywhere all the time. It is very difficult to kind of run cables in a neat, stealthy way. But at least now with this setup, it's super impressive. I'm very, very keen. Yeah, let's go ahead, let's get the cables run so long and start with the installation. Essentially, all that's going to happen is this rear tail light is going to come out. And yeah, we're going to run that cable underneath, along the chassis, up through the tail light, through there, into the tub here, and then connect it up to the battery. And that's it, we're ready to rock and roll.
It's time for Eddie to get started on running the wires. And the most critical thing is covering the wires in plastic sleeving. This is going to help protect your cables underneath the vehicle from sandblasting and stone chips. The dual battery system can often be incorrectly installed and it can lead to vehicle fires, so it's important not to skimp on any part of the process. And as you can see, National Luna can supply you with heavy gauge cables to efficiently carry the current over the full length of the vehicle. Even though the nature of the DC-DC is that it'll always step up and regulate the power to your auxiliary battery, you will still want to be giving it a good quality current. And having solid cables connecting your batteries is never a bad thing. Eddie also made sure to seal up all the connections with a heat shrink. This will not only keep the connections protected from the elements, but also add a bit more structure to your wiring setup. And it looks damn good. Another important thing to do with the dual battery system is to run a good quality fuse. This means that if for some reason the cable gets damaged and the connection shorts out, it pops the fuse and kills the connection. Another important step in preventing potential fire. Once that's all connected up, Eddie begins to run the wire along the chassis, making sure to keep the cable out of the way and protect it. And what's nice with the Hilux is being able to run the cable through the tail light and into the tub without having to drill any big holes. And as simple as that, we have our main starter battery connected up to the 150 amp hour AGM battery in the green box. Now, all we need to do is put on our battery monitor so we can keep an eye on our charging. I mainly use this to check the battery when I'm at camp and to make sure I'm getting the optimal solar charge. What's also handy is being able to monitor the temperature of the battery itself. This is going to help you improve the longevity of your setup.
So everything is hooked up, we've got power through, our little monitor is reading everything from the battery really nicely. We can see that once we turn the vehicle on and the alternator kicks in, we're getting our solid 25 amps charging through here. Now, the DC to DC will actually also smart charge the battery at the same time. So you will sometimes see 25 amps, sometimes you'll see less. It depends where it is in that charging cycle. So that is very, very nice. You can just leave it on there, keeping your battery topped up all the time. Now, what we also have over here is we've got the National Lunar LED camping lights on here as well. So this light here is a white, and then you can also change it to a red light. So now a red light obviously doesn't cause any night blindness or anything like that. It doesn't really affect animals and stuff too much. So it's a nice touch. And then on the other side doors there, I've got white and amber lights, also the National Lunar touch lights. And so far, from what I have kind of played around with them a bit, they work really, really well. I'm very, very happy with them. But it's really nice now to have this finally connected. I've been running off of just the solar panel in the meantime, charging this up for a weekend camping, and it actually works really well with even just a 150 watt solar panel. You can camp for a whole weekend without needing to turn on your vehicle. So having that solar functionality straight in the DC to DC system is awesome. It's really, really awesome. You don't have any other units. You don't need MPPTs or any solar management units or anything. It's all baked in there, so you can just plug in and go. But yeah, I think what's nice also having a couple extra USB slots back here. You've got your gauge there to have a quick look at your battery to see how it's sitting. So pretty much everything is set up on the power system. All we got to do is pull out the 50 litre legacy fridge and pop in the new 90 litre. Now this is a big unboxing. Oh, look at that magic. Arms. Woo, that's a heavy boy. Okay, this fits quite a bit more snug than the 50 litre. I've got this all plugged in now. Line this baby up. Okay, so now we're just gonna tie this baby down. And then what I'll do, we'll just install the rear tie down points at a later stage, so we can tie it down at the back there properly. And there we go. It is definitely better suited for this space than the 50 litre. We've got all of that extra space. It fits absolutely perfectly. It is just in there. So we've got our green box, we've got our 90 litre National Lunar fridge, and we are now really getting ready to be able to head out there and have an amazing time out in the bush. So thank you so much for joining in on this episode, and I hope you learned something new about dual battery systems. They are complicated systems, but they're also quite simple at the end of the day. You just need to make sure that it's installed properly and if you get a good quality system, it'll be reliable for years to come. I really like the National Lunar stuff on my first overlanding vehicle. I had it then on the Jimny, and I have it now on the Hilux. And it just gives me that peace of mind, and it's very, very cool when you get to see that your battery is fully charged by the time you get to camp, that you can plug in a solar panel and be able to get energy from the sun, that it's just, you're not wasting power, you're not wasting energy, and you're being able to really be self-sustainable. Having your fridge there, keeping your food fresh, keeping your drinks cold, it's a luxury, for sure, it's a luxury. But to be honest, if there's any modification that actually needs to be done to your vehicle, you can take a standard vehicle pretty much anywhere. But having electricity and having fresh food, to me, that's pretty damn critical. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Rome Overlanding, and I'll see you again soon. Join us next week when we head over to Cooper Tires and we put a little bit of something special on the new build. See you guys then. Cheers.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Rome Overlanding. I just want to take a moment to thank my awesome patrons for their support, as well as let you know if you want to join in on our weekly live streams and updates, you should head over to Patreon and become a member. On the next episode of Rome Overlanding, we install a new set of rims and tires from Cooper Tires. I would love to know what type of dual battery system you are running in the comments below. I just want to give a massive shout out to my incredible sponsors. Without you guys, this would not be possible. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you next week. Cheers.